I said go and line up. Whoever got next is fine with us. I ain't gonna let that slide. Think you fly, huh? Ain't no shortcut, heading to the top. And the movement is never gonna stop, man. I do this.
High pressure fish, little baits get you bites. Tube's just a timeless bait. Imitates a lot of things. Crystal clear water, they can see a long ways. I don't care how small that bait is. He saw it fall, even if he acts like he didn't. Best one of the day so far. Prime example of the kind of fish you can catch on a little tiny baby tube, a little llama tube. The tube profile, there's something about it. It's been catching fish for 50 years and it's gonna catch fish for another 100 years. Something about a tube, just the subtleness of it and the way it falls too. Tiny little bait that really resembles those small gobies and those little tiny crayfish that they love in the spring. There he is. One part of being a pro is product development too, and I saw a need for a bait like this. A llama tube down there. Came to Z-Man with the idea. Profile's a little different on this one. It's a little thinner. And this bait comes in at 2 inches. Really tiny profile, matches up perfectly with those little tiny baby juvenile crawfish. The big smallies are always spitting up. More tentacle and less body, and I think that gives a lot better action to the tube, creates more of that darting and that spiraling as it's falling. And Z-Man got them perfect on the pour. They're very, very consistent. The tentacles are all the same size and length. And then the other thing I really wanted out of a tube bait, which is super important in a tube bait, was having one out of ElaZtech. Now see, on a regular, salt-based tube, this thing's garbage, throw it away. With this ElaZtech, you can just pull it back up over, run it back through there. That hole never gets that big, so it closes right back up. Good to go. Just making me more efficient on the water, staying in the game longer, and just less downtime. Making a bait this style, we knew we were gonna have to make a head for it too. So we went with a traditional teardrop tube style head, but paired it up with a really high quality VMC RedLine hook. Super stout, tough little hook that's gonna hold up the 1/0. And another cool thing, the size is stamped in on the size of the head with those little jig heads. Sometimes it's hard to tell. We got them in a 1/16, an 1/8, 3/16, and a 1/4, which is all the sizes you'll need for this tube. It's an internal tube system, which I think is crucial when you're fishing a tube. It gives a lot different action than if you were to hook it just on a jig head on the outside. That internal weighted system with that teardrop style head really gives that bait a lot of action on the fall, or when you hop it up off something, it gives you that twirling, darting action that gets you a lot of bites. And then having it out of ElaZtech, having that flotation to it, that a little bit of tentacle movement when that bait's just sitting still, because standard plastic's just gonna lay flat on the bottom. This one's gonna stand up a little bit and have those tentacles just kind of ever so slightly quivering. And if you fish the Great Lakes, you know how bad the gobies are. They'll literally just saw your tentacles off a regular tube. Same deal when you get around bluegills, perch, stuff like that. They're always pecking at your bait. With this ElaZtech, they won't be able to do that. Smallmouths are super visual, so you don't need vibration or noise or anything like that. In those clear water environments, it's all sight feeding for them. And we got, in my opinion, a full spectrum of all the colors you're gonna need. Working with Z-Man, I think we really just got something that'll cover every situation you're gonna come into. If I'm trying to imitate a crawdad, green pumpkin's hard to beat. If I'm trying to imitate a goby or any kind of bait fish, minnow style fish, either the Deal or Goby Bryant, both really pretty two-tone colors, got that darker back, that lighter belly. I don't know what it is about straight black and clear water, just has a really good silhouette. I don't know if they think it's a leech. And Siren's just the exact opposite. It's like more than chartreuse. It almost glows in the water, whether you're trying to match the hatch or throw something that stands out. I think we got both ends of the spectrum covered on that for colors. Grab that belly, that's a nice one. Right there, get that little llama tube right in the snout. a little bite-sized morsel for a big old smallmouth. You know, having the right tackle, long, light spinning rod, allows for long casts with tiny little baits. And the line's probably the second most important. This is light line, 8-pound braid. And then I got a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader on there. Reel with a good drag is important, especially when you're using the little hooks and the semi-light line. For the most part, I'm just letting that tube do all the work. And if you just let it sit there, he'll swim over to it, nose down to it, and 9 times out of 10, he'll pick that bait up off the bottom. You don't really get that with a drop shot style bait. A lot of times, a bait on the bottom, really mimicking what they're eating, piquing their curiosity, stirring around, kicking up dust. And this is something you can give to somebody that's never fished before. They can drag it around. Another one, we went for the little bite-sized llama tube. Really simple, really easy bait to catch fish on. You're gonna have a lot more fun, you're gonna get a lot more bites, and it'll still catch giants as well.